Lights on, phone on airplane mode, and we are finally live. Welcome to another video on the channel, my tigers. It's Alex from Tiger ADA. I'm very happy to have you here as usual in this amazing channel that we're trying to develop here, sharing the message, spreading the message of just internal self-help, internal self-improvement, because internally it's where the keys lie to self-improvement, because everything feels much more effortless after you have developed a good relationship with yourself, which is actually the topic that we speak about. I just want to make one disclaimer. I say this pretty often in this channel, but I want to say it once again, that the topics, the things that I'm speaking in this video, I'm also trying to work on myself. I'm not perfect, as you're not perfect as well, and we're just I'm just sharing the message. I think that these things, it's my duty to share it with you, because it can actually be life-changing. I really believe this, because the moments when I realized these things, it was such a mind blow for me, and I realized that I've been living my whole life kind of not in a lie, not in a matrix, but in the wrong way. And the topic of today's video is the relationship between you and yourself, and do you actually love yourself? Because a lot of people misunderstand what is really love when it comes to you and when it comes to other people. People think that love is you go next to the mirror and you start saying, I love you, you're the best, you're the most beautiful, you're the most handsome, you have the best eyes, or whatever. And it's a very weird thing, because love is not this, guys. Love is not this glamorous thing that you know, men and women, they just cannot get rid of each other. You know, they're so in love, so happy, they cannot just separate even for 1 second, and it's always smiling and happiness and this kind of stuff. I'm speaking about self-love here, and I'm speaking the real meaning of love, because it's not what I just described. Love is actually when you fully accept a person, and when you give them the freedom to experience whatever they want in life. Because we are here on this planet to experience life, to experience the best possible experience for each and every one of us individually. And to love another person is to give the freedom, give the acceptance of the person that you choose to be with, if it's a partner. Of course, this comes to our friends as well. Ultimately, that's what we need to strive for. Of course, nobody is perfect. Of course, nobody has the perfect love. But perfect love is the freedom and the acceptance of the other people. And interestingly enough, the same way is when it comes to self-love. It's giving ourselves freedom and acceptance, which is the most important thing that we're going to speak about in this video, is acceptance. Because what we do is we accept only the good qualities in ourselves. We accept only if we are happy, only if we are smart, only if we have a good job, only if we are doing well, only if the others approve of us, only if we have attention, attraction, whatever. And everything else that is labeled as bad, we don't accept of each other. We don't accept when sometimes we fail, when we make mistakes, when we are sad, when we are angry, when we are moody, when we are tired, when we are unproductive. We don't accept this part in ourselves. And that's what I don't like in the self-improvement sphere on YouTube. Self-improvement manosphere, like they call it. Because you accept only yourself only when you hustle. If you don't hustle, you're a piece of shit. You accept yourself only if you train. If you don't train, you're a piece of shit. You're always this piece of shit if you're not good. But guys, we're imperfect creatures. We're 50-50. Yin and yang. It's like good and bad mixed within us. And okay, I agree that everybody should strive for the best. Everybody should try to be productive, to push to their goals, to work hard. Yes, absolutely. But what if you don't? Are you a piece of shit? What would happen if, let's say, you're getting in an amazing shape. You get in an amazing shape. You're very jacked. You have your dream physique. You've worked very hard for this. You feel amazing because, yes, you're working hard and everything. What? God forbid if you have a car accident and let's say you break your leg, and for 1 month you need to stay at home and you cannot train. For this 1 month, are you a piece of shit? Do you hate yourself in this 1 month? Because that's not how things should be. Because, as I told you before, love is accepting the other person or yourself fully, with their bad qualities, with their bad moments. Do you accept yourself fully? Do you accept your bad qualities fully, as well as your good qualities? Because that's what I don't like, I told you. the message on YouTube is this: you are only good enough, you can only be loved if you do X. In some channels they say train, in another channel it says meditate, in third channel it says work on your business, make a lot of money. And if you're not doing these things, you're a piece of shit. And that's the trap I fell into when I got first into self-improvement. I want to improve myself so much that I wanted to spend my whole day doing productive stuff. My whole day doing productive stuff. Like wake up, meditate, then journal, then train, then go back, then shower while watching self-improvement video, then eating while watching self-improvement video, then editing my video, then chilling in the bed a little bit while listening to self-improvement podcast, then going into the park for a walk, then reading one book in the park, then going back while listening to self-improvement podcast, then going back reading a little bit more, then speaking with my mom only about self-improvement, then cooking while listening to self-improvement video. And I got into this cycle where when I cannot be good enough if I don't do self-improvement. And I disown these parts of myself. Every time I felt sad, more work. Every time I felt tired, you piece of shit, you need to go get back to work. And that was my self-talk. But imagine you speak like this to a loved one. Imagine it's not a lover, it's just your kid, let's say. Imagine your kid says, oh, dad or mom, I'm tired. No, you piece of shit, you need to study. Oh, dad, I'm very sad. Starts crying. No, you shouldn't be crying. You should improve yourself. You should be more happy and more grateful. Stop journaling. It's so crazy to think about it like this, but that's what we do to ourselves. Maybe we don't realize it. Maybe it's not on a conscious level, but trust me when I say, guys, go a little bit analyze yourself. Ask yourself the important questions. Why? Why am I being the way that I'm being? Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Ask yourself these questions. It will show you so many answers about yourself. And I cannot give you these answers because you know yourself the best. You're with you 24/7. But you have this healthy relationship with yourself where you accept everything that you are. And trust me when I say, guys, when you accept, especially the bad, so-called bad emotions, like being sad, they go away much faster. You let go of them and they don't show up anymore. On the other hand, if you feel sad or if you feel guilty or if you feel shitty and you start to repress it and start doing something else instead, or just basically distracting yourself out of this emotion, it will show up more and more and more until it explodes, until you get into this hole, until you get into this depression and sadness and angriness. That's not good, guys. That's not how you love somebody. Would you love your kid if he or she is angry? Would you love your kid if he or she has a bad grade? Of course. But when it comes to us, no. It's like loving this kid only if it has A plus. Here in Bulgaria is 6. If it has A's. Loving your kid only if it's productive. Only if, for example, if it plays sports, if it scores goals. If not, don't love him. Guys, what is here in our world is the same as it's in the real world, as we call it. Who knows what is real anymore? But the world, the life is like this. All the time. It's like the weather, guys. One day it's sunny, one day it's windy, one day it's cloudy, one day it's raining, one day it's storm, one day it's snow, one day it's fog. It's the same thing. Everything is related. Everything. And do you get mad when it starts raining? Like, fuck this shit. I don't love life anymore. Do you get mad if it's cloudy? Do you get so happy when it's sunny? Maybe, but are you attached to these weather changes? Because I guess most of the people are not. Maybe there are some crazy people that are. But at the same time, are you attached? Is your self-love dependent on your emotions, on your productivity, on your work, on your possessions? Is it? Because this shows something is not right. This shows that you need to dive deep into yourself and find out the reasons, the answers. Because love, in and on itself, cannot be attached to something. Unfortunately, most of the people don't experience love. Maybe me also, I haven't experienced real love. Because love is loving without any conditions. Unconditional love. So, first think about your partner, about your kids, about your friends, about your parents. Think about them first, because it's easier when something is outside of you. Do you love them unconditionally? Do you love them when they shout at you, when they're mad at you, etc., etc.? Maybe no. Think about this for a second. Inside of yourself, of course, maybe it's not the nicest thing to say, but maybe you don't love them. And this is something that you need to find out for yourself. Do you love your partners only if they're good, only if they're smiling, only if they're happy, only if they're in a good mood and giving you love and attention? Or you also love them when they're mad and bitchy and sad? This is something that we all need to strive towards, and especially, maybe first of all, with ourselves. Do you love yourself when you're in a bad mood, when you have a bad grade, when you make a big mistake, when you're lazy, when you're unproductive, when you eat junk food, when you don't train? Do you love yourself when you're not on self-improvement? Do you love yourself when you're not always chasing some goal? This should be our mission, to love ourselves in every moment. And of course, when we start loving ourselves, it's a cliche, but it's true, we start loving others also for their bad and shitty qualities. Not qualities, but it's more like periods, it's more like moods. This is the goal, guys. It's not so much to be the most jacked person in the world, the richest person in the world. Yes, of course, these things are nice. It's a subjective goal for everybody, but this is not my point. My point is that even if you have these things and if you're not happy with yourself and with the relationships that you have with other people, what's the point of everything? That's why I always promote first to go on the inside and then to change our outside world, because things get much easier. Because, for example, if you accept that today you are lazy, the next day you are more productive because of it. Because your production, like I do now, is not out of hate, it's out of self-hate. It's not out of anger that last day I was lazy. It's out of just genuine desire and inspiration. I hope that you get what I mean, because it's not so much the goal and the action, it's the place where it's coming from. Because you can, let's say you can give money to charity, or you can give money to homeless people. But do you get it with the intention to receive, to boost your ego, or do you give it with the intention to give to other people? It's the same action, but the intention behind it is the important thing. Do you train, like working out? Do you work out just to stop hating yourself so much? Or do you work out because it's healthy for your body, you want to look nice, you want to look muscular? Please ask yourself these questions and be 100% honest with yourself, because at least you cannot lie yourself. You're always here in a relationship with yourself. But this is the most important relationship in your life, guys, because people come and go. Unfortunately, that's how life is, and you never know who is going to stay with you forever or for the long run. And the only person who is going to stay with you for the rest of your life, 100%, this is you, yourself. And look at the relationship with yourself. Look at it closely. When you see yourself in the mirror, do you like what you see? Do you see a person that you love? Or do you see somebody that you hate? You see somebody with a lot of insecurities and flaws? There's something to really, really think about and dive deep into, because this is the foundation of our whole life. If you want any success in your life, you cannot have it without loving yourself. Because success comes much easier when you're not, when it doesn't come, the desire for success doesn't come from place of lack, place of missing something, place of scarcity. Because if you want money just to fill the voids in yourself, it's a completely different thing compared to if you want money just to make your life even better than it is now. It's a completely different thing. When I was a football player, this is something that I unfortunately didn't realize back then it would help me so much. But when I was playing for fun, when I was playing just to enjoy the game, I was much better tactically, physically. My stamina was better, my communication with my teammates was better. And when I started to play just for career, just for future money, just to prove the coaches and the other teammates that I'm good, then my game went downhill, my psyche went downhill, and everything went downhill, and I had to stop my career. Because it's not the thing itself, it's the place where it's coming from. You can call your mom and tell her, "How are you, mom? out of two places. The first place is out of necessity, out of just being like a daily tedious task, or the other place is just genuine interest in your mom. How are you, mom? Everything good? Two completely different things, guys, but in order to understand these things, we need to go deep into ourselves to understand it much, much better. Because, guys, here, this world is much deeper than this that you see. And this colors the outside. The inside colors the outside. If you want something on the outside, you need to first have it on the inside. If you want to be successful in your mind, in your head, in your body, and in your soul, you need to 100% believe that you deserve this success. This is, by the way, very interesting. You can check my previous video about this topic. It's really so interesting. But as you can see on each and every single video, I try to speak about this. Our internal world is what we need to dive deep into. Really, that's so important. I'm very happy that you watched this video, especially if you watched it until the end. I'm very happy to have you here on my channel, and I really hope this video was of any value to you guys. As usual, I'll see you in the next one, and stay tigers.